Well, good afternoon all. This is Patricia and I am traveling for history. I found us another state historic marker. I'll zoom in for you. DAR stands for Daughters of the American Revolution. DAR, John Strong Mansion. General John Strong was a Revolutionary War patriot and a prominent early citizen of Addison County. He served as a judge, state legislator, and represented Addison at the state convention, which adopted the Constitution of the United States and approved admission of Vermont to the Union as the 14th state. 5 generations of the Strong family lived in this stately federal-style home built circa 1796. The Vermont State Society, Daughters of the American Revolution, now maintains the home as a museum to help preserve and tell the story of life on the Vermont frontier. Now, one thing I'll say just about the site itself, this is the tallest historic marker I have yet seen. In case you're wondering if it says something different on the other side, it does not. It says the same thing. Now, I bet you're wondering about the John Strong Mansion. What that looks like. Well, let me turn around. Da-da-da! How fabulous is that? Now, this is from its own website, the Daughters of the American Revolution John Strong Mansion Museum. You too can find it if you look on the web. This 200-year-old home of a revolutionary patriot and his family occupies a unique position in the Lake Champlain Valley, a region rich in heritage and history. It is the oldest home on the Vermont side of Lake Champlain, open to the public and maintained as a museum. The home retains its original structure and contains a collection representing 5 generations of a prominent Vermont family. The family whose hands turned the lock in the massive front door of the Strong Mansion arrived shortly after the French and Indian Wars and witnessed the decisive campaign of the American Revolution and a key battle in the War of 1812. Their lives were intertwined with historic events at Fort Ticonderoga, Crown Point, Mount Independence, Hubbardton, and the Plattsburgh battle sites. In fact, were I to turn around, and I might as well because I'm staying right here, that brush and trees you see, on the other side of all that is Lake Champlain. You might be able to see that from the upstairs, but you're never going to see that in the summertime, that's for sure. The mansion was built about 1796 and ranks as one of Vermont's most outstanding examples of early domestic architecture. Built as an elegant interpretation of the Georgian and Federal styles, it was originally set on 360 acres rolling down to Lake Champlain. It is a highly impressive house today and must have awed most when it was built. Thomas Keefe, preservation architect, stated in a 2006 report, quote, "This is an extraordinary building, historically very significant on a statewide, even regional level," unquote. The stately presence of the house is enhanced by the solid appearance of its brickwork. In turn, this solidity is counterbalanced by refined details such as the Palladian window, a semi-elliptical fan light, the molded cornice, and 12/12 windows. A hipped roof caps the symmetrical facade. The brick for the house was made on land owned by the Strong family in a kiln across the road from the house. The brick's Flemish bond, the favorite choice of 18th century masons, contributes to the stylishness of the house. The inherent checkered pattern of the bond is enhanced by the highly decorative use of glazed headers that form a distinctive diamond-shaped pattern in the rear walls. This type of brickwork, while relatively common in the Mid-Atlantic region and Virginia, is extremely rare in Vermont. The details, forms, and massing of the house suggest that either Strong or his builder were familiar with 18th century pattern books, and a particularly strong correlation seems to exist between Batty Langley's Practical House Carpenter, London, 1754, and the house. The interior of the Strong house reflects the same degree of quality as the exterior. The Georgian floor plan revolves around the wide central hall. Many of the original details and hardware remain intact. Particularly fine are several fireplace mantels with molded cornices, rope moldings, and dentils. The two chimneys serve 6 fireplaces, including a large kitchen fireplace with a bake oven on the side. The lock on the master front door is the original one. The John Strong mansion is important not only for its regional impact, but because it shows the quality of design and workmanship that could be attained during Vermont's early years. And you can read more on their website. I'll make sure to include a link on my website to go to theirs, and you can read all about it. They also have pictures of the interior. They give tours of this place seasonally between Memorial Day and Labor Day because it is tied to the state park, which is over yonder, and behind it is surrounded by the state park. Since I'd like you to see what that back looks like, let's take a walk. We can enjoy the view. Is certainly unseasonably warm here. There should be snow on the ground. It should be horribly cold. It's not horribly cold. It's close to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. With a light breeze. I know, I should be a weather reporter, right? But look at that. So the Federal style, one of the hallmarks is symmetry. And we see the windows are directly above and below each other. The dentilation they were talking about before, up the cornice line, see those pieces, if I get my cane in the right place, right there? They sort of look like teeth. Dentilated. I've always associated the word with dentist. I actually need to look up the etymology of it, but that's how I remember what that is. Handicap ramp for access. Because those of us with disabilities also want to see these amazing places. I can't always do stairs. And here we are. Look at the diamond patterns. Oh, how is that not magnificent? Wow. And there's more right there. Holy guacamole. Beautiful. Truly, truly beautiful. Huh. Well, let's finish the walk around. The other side looks a lot like the first side, but we're here and we can see more of this pattern because, wow, amazing. Look at that. Isn't that glorious? The correct answer is yes, Patricia, it is. This is a later addition to the house. I can't show you the lock on the front door because it's boarded over. Could be for a variety of reasons. To protect it from the elements, protect it from someone trying to break in, protecting it. And you can see there are more windows on this side than the other, but they are, they're also directly above one another. Come back around to the front. I'll point out the semi-elliptical fan and the Palladian window, so you can see what they look like. You can put a face to a name, if you will, now. And then these two here are also right above each other. I'm surprised there's nothing here, but there's nothing to indicate there ever were windows there either. And what would indicate that is a different color of brick. You could see the outline of the where the window would have been. I'm sure you've seen them too. I have an amazing audience. All right, we're almost back to the front. Well, we are to the front, but in a position where I can show you things. Alrighty, so semi-elliptical fan light is that right there. So semi-elliptical just means it's half of the elliptical. And there's that right there. Palladian window is just below it. What I'm going to say about a Palladian window, besides how much light it lets in onto the second floor, is that it's very expensive. It was very expensive in the time. Clearly, if you could afford a house like this, you could certainly afford a fan light. And not just a status symbol, but certainly it had, it let in a lot of light to that second floor. And here you can see how the front door is covered. Since there's no screen door, well, I don't know if there's a screen door seasonally, but since there's no screen door that we can see anyway, it stands to reason this is to protect it from the elements. And note the windows on either side of the front door. Those are called side lights because they are the sides of the door and they let in light. I usually think of these in terms of a Greek revival style structure, but clearly it's a federal style structure. And I said Georgian as well. So this front porch was installed the early 20th century, and I read it's colonial revival style. And over here we can see the state historic marker is quite tall in relation to usual ones that are a little bit shorter. Well, this is Patricia, and I'm traveling for history. Thank you so much for coming with me today. Truly appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the exterior of the John Strong Mansion Museum, also known as the John Strong House. Really enjoyed showing it to you. Until I see you again, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you soon. Bye now.